Page 108, Prelude in C major, a very famous piece by Bach. Piece of solo repertoire. If you want to play for people, they want to hear you play, this is a great piece to play for it. It's got a lot of examples, as much of Bach music does, of broken chords and block chords and things going on. So I'm just going to go through the process I use to learn a piece of music. Now let's see what we get. I'll look it over. This is 1 page long. Clef signs of treble and bass clef. There's no sharps or flats in the key signature. This is in the key of C major. If you're doing scales, then I recommend you do the scales and arpeggios for C major and A minor, because A minor has no sharps or flats in it. Common time or 4/4 time, and there's a lot of broken chords. You see these eighth notes? They're all pretty much just a broken chord. I'm going to take it one hand at a time. I'm going to try and connect everything with the fingers if I can. Here, 1 and 2. See that? That's just a C7 chord, and it leads into the 4 chord, what we've been doing. You can play them as block chords if you want to. To here, to here, to here. You get the chord progression. Measure 4, you're here, block chords, and then here, I'm connecting that. And then here, you come down, and then the thumb comes down. And now do it again, okay. Measure 13, you're up here, cross over, the last note of measure 12 is here. And then the run, which is basically a C major run, except you're not starting and ending on C. And it doesn't matter. It's going to feel like here, 1 E and If you can play the scales, these things just come. I'll talk more about it a little later. And here, they want here. I don't like that. I don't want to go from here to here. So I'm going to go here. It's there. Then I can come down. 1 4 2 5. See, it's rather awkward to go. I don't like that move, so I'm not going to do it. And then here. Yeah, it's not big enough for that. Then you got to use thumb on both. But connect the top at the end. Left hand, well, it's simple enough to start, and then the left hand gets the broken chord also. You come up. 4th finger on the E now. I'm still going to use 4th finger on measure 5 on the F sharp. So, the little squiggly things there on measure 9, 10, 11, I'll come back to those. Right now it's just G. Okay. The last 2 measures, they want a 5, play it with 5, and while you're holding it down, put 2 on it. That was so we can connect it. Then I'll try putting their hands together, and I'll hesitate, that's okay. Well, this is simple enough because the left hand isn't doing anything. Now, in measure 4, when I play the 3rd beat, the right hand comes up. So put the hands together, and then I'll go back over it slowly and carefully, maybe just a few measures at a time. I'll work out any hesitations. Then I'll put in the articulation that is marked and the ornaments that are in the 3rd line there. Articulation-wise is the phrasing. So you notice the first phrase starts on the and of 1. You'll notice all these others start on the and of something. It's the typical of Bach. And that's important. So lift up. Yeah. If you're going really fast, you don't have time to lift up, but lift up. It's a very quick little breath. Left hand gets a 2. Lift. It's these phrasing, lift up like that. Now, this 3rd line with these ornaments, This is a mordant. It's a here. They give it written out below. It's a here to here. Just a quick note. It's called a mordant. The inverted mordant is that. It goes up. This goes down. And it's on the beat. So it's a. And because it's quick, I would recommend not using 2 fingers. It's better if you could use 3. It's easier for me if I do a 2-3 or a 1-3-2. The problem is I got to reach here, and that's kind of hard to do. So I need to end on a thumb, so I can do a 2-3-1 here. But if that's not working for you, 2-3-1, it's not working for me. Then do a 1-3-1. Not a 1-2-1. Do a 1-3-1. It'll still be better, in my opinion, if you could figure out how to use 3 fingers for that rather than 2. And I had a piano professor in college tell me once, because I was struggling with the ornaments, he said, leave them out. It's better to leave it out than play it poorly. So if you absolutely can't get that, then just play a quarter note. And so when I played Bach for him, I left him out because I couldn't play him. Another teacher I had later, which I had a lot more influence on me than that teacher, showed me about the alternate fingerings that the other teacher didn't bother with. And that helped me be able to play some of the ornaments okay. Yeah, but I still struggle with ornaments on that. But once I have a sort of a handle on the articulation, I'll think about the dynamics. And here, it really applies more to whichever hand has the 8th notes. Because this melody at the beginning, you want to call it that, that needs to be heard wherever it's at. So anyway, this softly says moderately loud, that's this. Because then they want you to go up to loud. There's not a difference between moderately loud and loud. And I doubt seriously Bach put this stuff in the music. A lot of times they didn't. An editor or somebody has done it. So it just seems like maybe we could go moderately softer. Start a little softer so you got more room to grow to get loud. And it's going to kind of have to be at a measure at a time now because I don't want to be loud until measure 4. So it's louder, louder. Now I'm loud. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the 8th notes wherever they're at. So it's kind of going back and forth, almost like a duet. Anyway, go through and put in the dynamics. Good luck with that. Again, I use weight to play. So the louder I play, the heavier I feel. So this is not too heavy here. Heavier. Heavier. Now I'm heavy. I'm heavy when I'm loud and I'm light when I'm not. Because like in measure 14 in these, loud, really, heavy, yeah. And then the speed, well, it needs to be accurate, so you don't go fast. I'm playing I disagree with their phrasing on measure 12 here. No, I would do it. I would break that. So the speed is, well, moderate speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's close enough. That's fast enough. Pick wherever the hardest part is for you and how fast can you play that accurately. Let the wrist collapse a little bit and put a little accent on each beat. I'm exaggerating the accents, but I want you to feel that because that helps keep the run smooth and even if you can do that. That's if you're doing it with scales, then it makes it a little easier to do it here. 1 and 2 and ready and go and 1 and